Hi everyone, welcome to Sacred Soulful Sundays. My name is B. Pila, and let's get into this week's session. So thank you for joining me today. I have so much today. As you can see, I'm very highly charged. I have so much, and it must be this 777 portal, because this is what happened for I would say at least 2 weeks. I had been waking up literally at 7:07. 7:07. I mean, literally, I wake up, it's like, whoop, there it is, 7:07, 7777777. And I have to say, quite frankly, I had no clue why. I just took note, which is what I do. I took note and said, okay, I researched it. I looked into it. I was like diving into it. And then the day that it was 777, I woke up knowing why. And what came in was cycles. So the message today connects with the 7 energy. Okay. And the 7 energy is extremely symbolic, something that I really had never taken into account, because recently I had been connecting greatly to 555 energy, 555 energy, 555, 5555. And 5 is very much about change, shift, right? But 7 is a divine number that, if you think about it, how many days does it say in the Bible it took to create this incredible 3D world that we live in, right? Let's just start with that. We live with 7s every single day, right? What does that mean? That means that we live with the cycle of 7 constantly. We live week to week to week to week. Do we not? Like, we know, tell me if you understand the feeling that you get when it's Monday. Does that resonate? Yeah. Okay. Now, what kind of feeling do you get when it's Wednesday? Did you connect to that? How does it feel? Oh, hump day. Okay, I made it halfway through. Right? Now, tell me how you feel when you get to Friday, right? So there's an energy there, right? There's an energy, there's an anticipation, and you get caught up in it. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because that is called a cycle. Now, we have so many cycles as part of our world, right? We have the cycle, as women especially, we have a menstrual cycle, right? Our cycle as women, as this feminine energy that we came into, is extremely connected to the moon, hence the menstruation cycle. And God knows, this whole conversation started with the experience I had on this beach in Harbor Island, connecting to this energy of the waves, right? The movement of the waves that is created by the pull, the gravitational pull of our planetary bodies, right? So imagine if it's doing that to the ocean, what is it doing to you when you are water as well, right? So what I want to talk about today is being conscious and connecting to the cycles of our life, okay? And understanding them in a better form so that we can, in turn, use the cycle that we are in to our benefit, okay? The cycle in which we live affects us. Just as I mentioned to you, how does it feel when your cycle of the week starts on a Monday? And you know how that feels. There's something about Monday that you're like, even if you didn't know it, you still feel it, right? You still feel it. It's a beginning. It's a beginning. And the momentum of beginnings is with you. And sometimes momentums of beginnings are kind of rough. So think of what cycle of the 4 that we live in, which is winter, spring, summer, and fall, because that's another symbolic number, 4. Okay. Those 4 cycles, what is the energy that comes with the cycle of beginnings? Spring. Okay. So spring brings with it. That's why we all go through spring cleaning, right? Purging, blossoming, coming into being, correct? Coming into being. So then we go into the summer months, and the summer months, which is what we're experiencing right now. How do the summer months feel? They feel full, right? Full. Like the days are longer, right? It's like they're about to explode. It's like, how many more hours of light can we have? Like literally, this is how it feels, right? It's like we're 9 months pregnant. We're like, right? So then we have the energy of fall, right? Where we start like, okay, hold on a second. I can't expand anymore. I can't expand anymore. So now I'm going to just like settle in and prepare, start coming in and prepare for the winter, right? And even though here in this incredibly tropical land that we live, right, we don't experience those 4 seasons, we do experience the energetic elements of those seasons. And I'm bringing all of this up again for the reason that you have to understand cycles. Now, what's really interesting to me as well is that this 7 cycle, which I started out with, the 7777, and what this 777 portal is bringing is an awareness, okay, that ourselves, our physicality also functions on a 7 cycle. So I'll bring something else to your attention. Think about a child that is born. When does that child shift from being child and starts the next cycle into adolescence? It's 7. In fact, if a child experiences some traumatic experience between the ages of birth to 7, it is the most impactful time in which that child carries the pain body of that trauma. Every day with my little granddaughters here, I pray, please let them be healthy and well, at least until, because when they get to 7, they're more robust. The fragility of that time frame between birth and 7 is incredible. In fact, most of the time when I know that even like my father experienced a very, very severe intestinal issue when he was, I think, 2. Am I right, Mom? Like 2 or 3? 3, right? My sister had so many issues before she was the age of 7. So many issues before the age of 7. And therefore, it affected her. It affected her physical being, her ability. Now, of course, that was important for her to become the person that she is. She had to overcome learning disabilities, dyslexia. She had to overcome her feet being like this versus like this. So she had to overcome all of these things, which made her an incredibly strong and resilient human being. This was purposeful. Okay, there's nothing bad about it, but it is a time frame in which you are vulnerable. Then from 7 to 14, what does that represent? It's when we are starting to become our own selves. and we are heading towards the transformation into puberty. And then from then, what's the next milestone? 21. Huh? There's a reason 21 is so important, right? And for me personally, going from 21 to 28 was incredible. My whole body changed. In fact, they say that your entire cellular structure changes every 7 years. So these are cycles and cycles and cycles that we are living through. So the point is, what cycle are you in? And when is the best cycle to manifest something, right? So for example, the law of gestation is the law of divine timing, correct? I mean, you get pregnant and you don't want that baby tomorrow. I mean, that baby cannot come out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That impatience is like, okay, I'm pregnant. Let me have it. Yeah, let's go. No, that's not what it is. You need to go through the gestation period so that baby comes out complete, right? So we do this also as we manifest our reality. We must be patient and work with the law of cycles and gestation, right? It is how we operate. But what happens to us is that we have such a deep disconnect from our natural cycles of life. We ignore them because we, as in our lovely manly egos, we like to control everything. We feel like, okay, we control the light, right? We control the light. We say, okay, it's not nighttime right now. I can turn the light on and I can be up all night if I feel like it, right? There was times when that was impossible. And when that was impossible, we were actually more connected because there was a time for pause. How many of us hunger for pause? Okay, at least I do. I mean, I hunger for pause. Whenever I have nothing that I have to do, and I don't like to use that word, you know me, I don't like to use have to do, but when I have, let's say I've chosen not to have anything to do, right? I feel weird. Doesn't that happen to you? Doesn't it happen to you that you feel weird when you have nothing that you're supposed to be doing? What if you took a pause? What if you gave yourself permission to say, it's okay if I just sit here for a few minutes? What if I take a breath? Oh my God, that feels really good, right? And that is the blessing of meditation, right? When you don't have something to do, the greatest thing that you could possibly do is take a pause. It's amazing what that can do for you. Okay. Recently, Felix turned me on to my sister's husband, turned me on to how my watch is recording those pauses all day long. And what I discovered, you know what it was? I discovered that I only pause when I'm meditating. That's it. In fact, my heart rate actually showed that. The only time that I reach my, what was it, Michi? What is it called?
Your variability.
The only time that I reach my variability of whatever that is with my heart is when I'm meditating. Can you believe that? All other time, I am not there. I'm not where my body is in that state of like flow. That kind of freaked me out, okay? Because I thought I was really cool. I thought I was in great shape. I'm like, oh man, I got this. No, I did not. I do not got this. Okay. So lately I've been practicing breathing more because I'm like, okay, am I holding my breath? Hold on a second. I think I am, right? because we are not going with the flow at all. Okay, we are in a constant state of one cycle, which is creation, 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 right? It's almost like we're trying to catch up with everything we're supposed to be doing, when in reality, all we're supposed to do is be being. Okay. So this 777 portal that hit me hard as shit. Okay. It was like obvious to me that I need to take that pause and say, what cycle am I in? So I made a pact with myself to dive into how I'm feeling and bless it. So let me give you an example. We started off this conversation with our feelings about Monday. Now, let's do something together, okay? So now I want you to think about today's Sunday. So tomorrow is Monday, right? So we're going to get this. It's going to hit us on the head, right? So what if tomorrow morning, not you, Lily, because you're on vacation. What if tomorrow, Monday, we woke up and we said, Monday. See how that feels? Here I come. This is awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being Monday. Let's try that tomorrow, just for the hell of it. Let's just give it a shot. See how our day goes. Let's see if we can say, hey, Monday feels amazing, right? And that is how we need to address our cycles, okay? We need to be able to bless the polarity of Monday from Friday and Friday from Monday, and just accept it as is. In other words, just say, it is. This is Monday. What a beautiful day Monday is. Monday allows us to begin again, to start fresh, to have a new week. Here we go. Let's take the ride. And that is the blessings of getting to this state of the present moment, of understanding the present moment. And let me tell you why this is so powerful. Because most of our lives, we spend it thinking about the past or thinking about the future. This is what being in the present moment means, guys. Okay, we don't get this. We don't understand that there is no such thing as the past, and there is no such thing as the future. It doesn't exist. This moment right now is what exists. This is it. And if we don't understand that we have to bless it and understand it and acknowledge it and not be in the past or the future, okay, we don't understand being in the present moment. This is just bullshit metaphysical talk that we tell ourselves. I am so present. No, we're not present, okay? Our thoughts are constantly going to the past and constantly going to the future. And the cycles of life are so beautiful because that's the lesson they teach us. This is the game. These are the rules of the game. You know, we pulled out the Monopoly box, we opened it, and these are the rules, okay? We cannot be planting a seed and expecting to gain its fruit tomorrow, okay? But when we plant a seed, we must be conscious and mindful of the seed that we plant and when we planted it, okay? And wouldn't it be fantastic, like if they told you, I had this issue with my trees back here, right? My trees back here, one fine day, I woke up in the morning and they were completely, they shed, like literally like all the leaves fell off, boom. And I was in shock because those trees are my fence. They're my boundary. They're like my privacy, right? So I freaked out. I totally freaked out. They were skeletal. I could see my neighbor. They could see me, my windows. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? So I called my tree company. I said, okay, I have a problem. Could you come out here and look at my trees and tell me what I'm supposed to do here? Are they dead? Do I need to plant something else? Do I need to rip these out? What do I do? So they came out and said, okay, this was like, I think this was, maybe it was in February, right? And they said, okay, well, we can't do anything right now. I said, what? What do you mean I can't do anything? I can't live like this. They said, yes, you have to live like this because they are not ready to be trimmed. If you trim them now, you will do further damage because it's not close enough to spring and they can blossom in spring. But if you cut them now, which they're going to go into shock, it's winter for them. Said, what do you mean it's winter? It's 80 fucking degrees out here. Excuse me. But anyway, it's no, but to them, it was winter, right? To me, it's summer, but no, to them, it's winter. And they told me, we will come out 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, we will trim the top of the trees and they will come back. Hopefully they'll get the rains, they'll be fine, and spring will kick in for them and they will reblossom. And I said, oh, great. I have to live with this skeleton for months now. How long is it going to take to? So my ego was going nuts. Guess what I did? I spent $5,000 putting in, I don't know, some other hedge down below just to grow up because I needed a double boundary. I was like, okay, I'm going to do one and the other just in case these don't go back, But guess what? I'm going to take a picture and post it. They are beautiful. They went through a gestation period that I almost couldn't take it anymore, but they were fine. I was the one that was a hot mess. Okay. I was a hot mess. They were doing just fine. They were like, we can do this. Thank you for the trim. Listen to this. I mean, I literally chopped 5 feet off of the top. And they just started little by little. Green leaves started coming out, doing their thing. And that has been such a beautiful lesson for me because I'm like, I was the one that couldn't handle the timing of their cycle. It's like, I wanted them to be back to normal tomorrow, but it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to be on my timing. It was going to be on God's timing. Period. And I needed to wait for spring, for the right time to trim them so that they would be fully beautiful and green right now, midsummer. Okay? So I ask you, what cycle are you in? And as I researched this, because I researched the hell out of this because I was so fascinated by all this download that was coming in for number 7, I discovered something, and Mom, you can chime in here, about the Rosicrucians and their timing cycles. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but it's fascinating, and I did it for myself, and there are 7 cycles. There are 7 cycles that we go through every year. Did you know this? And the 7 cycles start from your date of birth. Then you take a calendar, right? Which I did. I printed out a little handy dandy calendar. And you start from the day of your birth, which in my case is 12/12, and you count 52 days on the calendar and you circle it. And each section that you break those into, which are 7 sections, have an energetic, listen carefully, an energetic influence on your life.
Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Yes, why 52 days?
It must be the 52 weeks of the year, right? So it's broken up. Listen, this was new to me, and I'm going to share it with you guys. And I wrote it all down. I literally transcribed the entire lesson so that I could share this with you all. And I'm going to put it on the chat because I find it fascinating. Now, what I have noticed in my life, hold on, Mom, I'll get you in just a second. What I have noticed in my life is that every time I get close to my birthday, I feel something happening. Okay. I've gotten much better at it. And now I really, it's almost like my cycle is shifting. And when I reach my birthday, I'm telling you, some of the most significant things that have happened in my life have come in the cycle of my birthday on. Now that I read this information, I get it. I understood why. Because that cycle for me is the cycle of new beginning. And it's the cycle for you too. And it's very personal. Now, I don't have any idea if it has to do with astrology, because the Rosicrucians specifically do not get into astrology or numerology. But I found this information fascinating. And believe me, I'm going to share it with you because I started noticing the cycles that have come through my life and how significant the time frames have been. Also, Maribel, and it's funny that we were at the summit with Michelle Villalobos, right?
Yes.
Last weekend. And she came to return the dream catchers that I lent her for the stage and the rug and stuff. And she stopped by my house before she left on the airport. And we took a 10-minute talk break before she left. And she said to me, because I was telling her about design enlightenment and what I have my dreams of manifesting this and making it become a household name, blah, blah, blah. And she was saying, well, if that's what you want, make sure that you align it with the time that that is appropriate for you to start a new idea. This is all she said to me, Maribel, which was incredible because it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, oh my God, the perfect time is when my birthday's coming. Because that's when I know that the downloads come in the strongest and I'm ready to push something out forward. Similarly to the metaphor of the pregnancy, right? You don't want to get pregnant and have the baby tomorrow. Right? It's just not going to happen. Right? So I ask you, what are your cycles, your natural cycles? And I'm going to share this with you guys so that you can figure it out for yourselves. And what is the energy that is carrying you through these cycles of your life? Get in touch with the seasons. Get in touch with your own personal cycles. Because if you go with them, it's kind of like what Abraham Hicks says, it's going downstream versus going upstream. Wouldn't it be a lot easier to go downstream, guys, instead of upstream? If we fight our Mondays, right? And we only celebrate our Fridays, wouldn't life be very boring? We need to embrace all of it. All of it. We need to bless our Mondays, and we need to bless our Fridays too. And it's funny because I have a lot of work and business with, the Jewish Orthodox families, right? And man, are they in touch with the cycle. They don't break that for nothing. I mean, to them, Friday Shabbat is an honoring of the closing of the week, and they take a pause, a full-on pause. And to us, it seems ridiculous that they can't even get into an elevator, right? Like, it's like, what do you mean you can't motorize your drapes? But they use it as a moment to pause in the cycle of their week. Every week is a symbolic pause so that they can begin again. And, that's the way we're supposed to. Like today, Sunday, we are taking a pause from this life. Like right now, you guys are honoring yourselves. You're taking a moment to just expand your mind to something else. You're off of Instagram. You're not worried about TikTok. You're thinking about something bigger than you are. Something bigger than you are, and yet that you are a part of. You are always connected to Source. It is in the resistance to that connection and that illusion of separation that causes the pain. So get connected. Get connected. Nothing feels better than to embrace the connection with yourself and with your higher self and with the highest self that exists. When we do that, we get whole, complete, and coherent. And we get with the flow of life instead of fighting against the current. This is what we're doing here. And as we do this, we catch the wave, literally like a surfer. We catch the wave of frequency that allows great things to come to us. Instead of us trying to reach for it, all of a sudden everything flows in. That's what we're doing. And that is the greatest message that came in this beautiful 777 portal that we are experiencing right now, because this window is not just that moment. Just like anything, it gestates. So take advantage of this moment in time. Take advantage of this Sunday and take a pause and take a break to connect with who you are and where you are in this moment in time that you created for yourself. I will connect you with these new ideas that were very, very mind-blowing to me, something totally new that came in about the 7 periods of our life. And this, as everything, as you know, the circle is sacred, correct? When we start, we go all the way around and we come back. And this is what we do every single day, just like our earth is a sphere, the sun is a sphere, the moon is a sphere, right? We start and we end. Never. We are eternal beings on this beautiful journey with no beginning and no end. And for the girl that is one of the most impatient on this planet, and it's one of my greatest lessons, hence the ego trying to make my trees grow faster than they could. Take it from me. This is one of the biggest lessons that you can learn, is to be patient with divine timing, to allow things to blossom in good time. But to remember that we plant the seeds, and that seed begins with an emotion and a thought. Because every thought is a seed that you plant and nourish with the frequency of your energy. Okay? Your energy is the fertilizer. Okay? Remember that. So get with your energy and plant the seed and bless it with love. Literally say, you're so pretty. I love you. And watch it grow in divine timing. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Namaste, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed what we talked about today. And if you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We love to hear what you have to say.